In this video, I'll show you how to crochet these fingerless gloves. The pattern is really easy, but they still have a nice shaping, especially here around the wrist. It's narrower than the palm. I'll also tell you how to adjust the width as we go along. So this is the yarn I'm going to be using. It is an 8-ply yarn, and this refers to the thickness of the yarn. And it calls for a 4mm crochet hook. So we're going to begin with a slip knot and insert your hook. Make a chain of 25. And then chain one more to turn, because we're going to work stitches in this direction. So find the second stitch from the hook. 1, 2. Turn your chain to find its back loop, which is this one. Yarn over. Insert your hook in that stitch. In the back loop. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Three loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all. This is a half double crochet. And then I'm going to mark this stitch. And then in the next stitch, back loop. Do that again, yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 3. So then you're just going to work one half double crochet in the back loop of each chain all the way to the end of the chain. And this is the last stitch. In the back loop, make the last half double crochet. So that was row 1. Row 2, chain 1, and turn your work. In the first stitch, which is this one, that's the chain 1, that's the first stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop of that stitch. 2 loops here. You're going to insert in the back loop only and make a half double crochet. And then again, you're going to mark your first stitch, the first half double crochet. And you're going to do this every row. And then in the next stitch, back loop only, yarn over, make a half double crochet. And then the next stitch again, back loop, half double crochet. And continue doing this Work 1/2 double crochet in the back loop of each stitch all the way to the end of the row. This marked stitch should be the last stitch you work in. So take off your stitch marker and work 1/2 double crochet in the back loop of that stitch. And we completed row 2. The next row is row 3. Row 3 to row 8 is the same as row 2. So that means we're going to chain 1 and turn your work and work 1/2 double crochet in the back loop of each stitch from the first stitch. Don't forget to mark your first stitch. So from the first stitch, 1 in each stitch, all the way to the end of the row, to the last stitch, which is marked. And then repeat that pattern from row 3 to row 8. So I've done 8 rows. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now the rows is as wide as my hand. If you need the glove to be wider, you can work 1 or 2 more rows. So the next row is row 9. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. In the first stitch, I'm going to insert my hook and make a slip stitch. So I'm just gonna pull this yarn up and then pull the first loop through the second one. That's one slip stitch. And when you work slip stitches, don't pull your stitches too tight. Again, mark your first stitch. And keep marking your first stitch. In the second stitch, work a slip stitch. Third stitch, slip stitch. And then you're going to work 10 more slip stitches. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And then from the next stitch, we're going to begin to work half double crochet again, 1/2 double crochet in each stitch, all in the back loop. So you're going to work to the last stitch, which is marked. And we just completed row 9. Row 10, chain 1 and turn. In the first 6 stitches, work 1/2 double crochet in each stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then skip the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in the very next stitch, insert your hook in that stitch, in the back loop, and make a slip stitch. And then work 1 slip stitch in each stitch, all in the back loop. And work like that to the end of the row. Last stitch, slip stitch. And we just finished row 10. Row 11, chain 1 and turn. Row 11 is the same as row 9, so in the first stitch, insert your hook in the back loop, work a slip stitch, and then work 12 more slip stitches, so 13 in total. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. And then the next stitch is the first stitch of the 6 chains. So in the next stitch, yarn over, insert your hook in that back loop, and make a half double crochet. In the next stitch, 1 half double crochet, so 1 half double in each stitch. Chain 1 and turn. The next row is row 12. From the next row, you're going to work 8 rows again, just like these ones. So that's row 12 to row 19. But that's because I first worked 8 rows. If you've worked more rows before these 3 rows, the last 3 rows we worked, from the next row, you're going to work the same number of rows as these ones. So from the next row, which is row 12, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way to the end. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn, repeat that pattern, and I'm going to work like that all the way to row 19. This is the end of row 19. It's easier to count your rows from this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 19. So I'm going to work in the very last stitch. And then chain 1. And then make the last and the first rows meet. We're going to slip stitch these 2 rows together. Make sure your stitches line up. When I pick up stitches from the side that's closer to me, I'm going to insert my hook in both loops. When I pick up stitches from the side that's further from me, I'm going to insert in the back loop only. So from the very first stitch, insert in both loops, and then find the first stitch on the other side, this one, and then insert in the back loop. Pull up a loop, slip stitch. And then the next stitch, both loops, and next stitch, back loop only, slip stitch. Next stitch, both loops, next stitch, back loop only, slip stitch. Continue doing this to the end of the row. Finish the last slip stitch and chain 1. Cut this yarn and pull through. This is the wrong side of the glove. You should have 2 ends. Use a yarn needle to weave them in. And then turn your glove inside out to the right side. Repeat the exact steps for the other glove, and then we're done.